Okay. This is a little early game Dungeon Defenders Redux tutorial. It's just a cheese tutorial. So if this is the first time you've played the game, or you want the full experience, do not follow this guide. Because this is going to give you anything but that. Okay. So we're going to start on Deeper Well, Hard, Hardcore. But first, we need to bring in our characters. So Redux has a feature that lets you emulate controllers without installing anything extra. So you want to press F3, bring in that person. F4, bring in that person. F5, bring in that person. Now press F2 to reselect your top left main split, which is my EV, and then F8 to hide them all. So now we have these characters in that'll get experience while we're playing, except they won't be covering our screen. Let's put our first point into beam damage. Every single hero point up to level 8, or sorry, level 10, should be put into beam damage. And we will really just be using proton beams. Proton beams got a buff in Redux, actually. So they're even stronger early game. They were already good, but now they're even better. So with these, just make sure one of them is on this inner corner. Or inner side, I guess. Because that's kind of where these guys walking from the middle like to go. Sometimes they go towards the middle, though. That's why we double stacked. Now, I'm just going to set up for the orcs a little bit next wave. These orcs move a little bit weird, so it can be hard to put the protons in the right places. There's a staff. We definitely want a staff. Too bad we can't equip it yet. Having a staff right now really helps because it lets you knock things back. Alright, we'll put this down. And start up. Yeah, really, at first, the gear you pick up doesn't really matter. Like, you can look at everything if you want, and you can equip it. But, like, look at this. It's really doing nothing. So it's not too big of a deal if you don't look at anything. Alright, now I've got these orcs up here. I'm just going to overkill a little bit to make sure we kill these guys. Nice. Yeah, getting their walking path can be pretty goofy. They start pretty close to the wall here. And then It feels like they kind of drift, but maybe they don't. I'm not sure. Usually the first one, if you put the first one in the right spot and then level up a little bit, that should be enough. Let's go. And at this point, once you have, like... yeah, after wave 3, you should have enough beam damage stat that nothing is going to get past your first beam. They're doing way too much damage. I'm just going to try to look for a staff here. I'll take that. I think we can equip the staff we picked up, actually. I'll go do that. Alright. Yeah, this staff's right click is invaluable. Because this early on, you're not going to have enough damage to kill anything. Really? But being able to knock him back... super useful. It's also worth mentioning, you should try not to take damage, because you lose experience if you get hit. It's like 33% per wave or something like that. Great. The same goes for taking core damage, actually. So try to avoid taking core damage if you can. Okay. The first wave for this map is a little wonky. So the plan is we're going to go like that, and then we're going to save the rest of the mana to build protons where we need, reactively. Because you don't get enough mana for this first wave to put the protons in any like really decent spot. And these quarters are so wide open that the mobs just kind of take weird paths. And there's so many of them. There's 6 doors, which you're not going to be able to have enough DU to defend. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. Some of those guys will get taken down by those middle beams. Some of them won't. It's not the end of the world. All you have to do is just put down beams to kill the ones that get through. And using your characters to tank a little bit too helps. Our extras are kind of meat shields over here. And if you got an apprentice staff, you can use that to knock them in as well. Like, we can just kind of knock these guys back. There you go. And after the first wave, you should have plenty of mana to put down everything you need. Which what we want is just 3 proton beams down these little center corridors. We're gonna need to get some chests here. Also, we should level up. Okay, so we reached level 10. At this point, you want to start putting your points into holographic decoy. Holographic decoy is really what this cheese progression path hinges on. Because it's extremely overtuned in the early game of Redux because of the buffs it got. Which you can use to your advantage to do some really goofy stuff. We're 1 mana short, really? There you go. Alright, that should be enough to deal with the rest of the map. This map does have an ogre, but that first ogre is just going to show you the power of the holographic decoy. He will not last long. Just as a little spoiler. These waves are pretty slow. Really, these middle waves of these early maps, it's kind of where things are the slowest. Kind of watching things die. But it is what it is. Oh yeah, here's level 11. Every point into holographic decoy. Holographic decoy is indeed the sauce. Also, one thing you want to do is open your action wheel, which I don't know the default key for it. I can't remember. I think it's middle, like clicking your scroll wheel. Click hero, and then here's your detonate traps command. Just put this on 3, so put your mouse on it and then hold down 3. And now you see it's on 3. Because we're not going to need Proton Charge Blast. What the detonate trap does is it just lets you manually detonate your decoy to explode. Just so you don't have to wait for it if you don't want. One thing you could do as well to speed this up is put some protons on these corners, or even down by the doors, just to kill these mobs faster, because it takes forever for them to reach the center. That would help speed things up quite a bit. Or you could even use your decoy to kill some of them. Like, you could really just come down here at the beginning of the wave, put down our decoy, and then it'll nuke everybody. Though, remember, the decoy does have a timer on it, where it just automatically detonates. So, timing the decoy is really important. Like, I put this one down too soon, so not all these archers are going to die, because they're too far away. Oh, actually, no, they were close enough. The range is so insane. I thought those were too far away. Yeah, you can just put it down in decoy, remote detonate it if you want. No big deal. Just kind of upkeep your proton beams. But yeah, again, do try to be careful to not take damage, and to not take core damage. What the heck? Because you do lose the experience for that. I don't know why we took core damage there. You can always just put down, like, reflects if you want. Which apparently I need to do. Protect our experience bonus, please. Alright, here's final wave, finally. Let's put the rest of your points into decoy. Oh, I guess... Oh, what? Oh, I thought I leveled up. I was so close. Yeah, at this point you should have... Yeah, you should have 6. Maybe 9, if you don't lose experience bonuses like I have been. But 6 should be plenty for this ogre. He comes like halfway through the wave, so we have plenty of time. Plenty of time to sit around and just watch stuff die. Very slowly. Oh, here he is. Simple enough. That man wants to shoot me. No. Wow, this one's getting kind of low. Look at that. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. So many archers. There's archers everywhere I go. Anytime I want to go repair something. Yeah, at this point, your gear is going to have a little more value to it. So it's a little more worth it to look around on this map, but still not going to make a huge difference. So I'm not going to bother too much. Who's left? There's a couple stragglers. And there you go. That's nice. Okay. So, keep it going. And yeah, you can use auras if you want. If you're having a hard time with some of these maps, just put down like an ensnare and a strength drain towards the middle or beginning of your proton beam. Like your main stack of proton beams, where you're kind of funneling the enemies. and it'll just make sure that they die. But you really shouldn't need it if you're putting... I mean, we only put in 24 beam damage, and we're just shredding everything. So there's really no need for auras if you don't want to use them. Alright, the beginning of this map is really simple because there's not as many choke points. And they're very thin. Okay, we're just gonna need to keep an eye on this one since there's only one in the middle. They might get past these sides too because they come from all sides, and depending on the side they come on, it changes the angle they come in at, but I'd imagine that we'll still kill most of them. Hey, we're even killing these guys. Nice. No problem. Also, if you have your staff, you can always just do a little bit of that. Let's knock everybody into the abyss. Straight in the lava. Alright. One thing I like to do on this map is put some proton beams down here because these enemies take forever to reach the top. Just absolute years. So this just speeds up the waves. Also, this map does have wyverns, which... wyverns fly over your proton beams, of course. But that's not an issue, because what we're going to do is just put physical beams across the flight path, and the wyverns will attack the physical beams instead of the crystal. And then we just kill them with the decoy while they're distracted. So let's set that up now. Just want a big old physical beam right across there. I don't think there are any wyverns this wave, no. Just a warning. This gear is still not really worth much. Oh, it's also worth mentioning, this guide doesn't really work if you're playing on the vanilla game. Because the decoy on vanilla is fairly weak. I don't know how much damage it does early game, but I'm willing to guess there's just better options for you. But if you're one of the very few people who are new to playing this game and want to just get to Nightmare in Redux very quickly, or you're restarting in Redux, and you want to skip this early game drag, then it should work out fairly well. Sometimes if you put your decoy right in the middle here, the wyverns will just all go for it. I don't know how reliable it is. Let's see if all these guys go for it. It just kind of speeds things up if they all go to the same decoy. Otherwise, you have to use 2 to kill them all. But yeah, nope. That gets all of them. This map does have another ogre on the final wave, but as you saw, ogres are really not that big of a deal. They're just complete pushovers. Ooh, that's nice. We're getting some good stuff here. Look at that. Ooh. Oh my gosh. We're actually getting lucky. The gear is insane. Man, does this thing just have a lot of HP or do we have no cast? We have no cast. Great. Again, just put your points into that decoy. We should be good to go. I'll go repair more stuff after we deal with these wyverns. Well, we need a minute, so. There's only 2 so far. Okay, here come the rest. I don't know if these will de-aggro from these physical beams. No, it doesn't look like it. Can we knock them back? Can you knock back flying enemies? No. It's alright. We'll just have to use a few more decoys. The ogre might be coming soon, so I'm just gonna save. That wyvern's not going anywhere. He'll just stay on that physical beam for a while. Here he is. Okay. And that is the end of that map. I kind of want to look at this gear again, because we got super lucky last wave. What do we got here? Yeah, it's worth. Okay. Let's not waste time. Next level. So this level's pretty simple. There's no ogres and there's no wyverns. So you don't have to do anything weird. Like, put physical beams just to tank for them. Just good old proton beam spam. Though, the boss on this map, this is a boss map, by the way, so if you are not confident you're going to be able to do the boss without taking too much damage, I don't know if he one-shots you no matter what, but he does do quite a bit of damage. So, keep that in mind. it might not be worth doing this on hardcore. Like, if you can do it on hardcore, great. You'll get the extra experience and all that. But if you can't, it's not that big of a deal. It's just one map where you're missing out on some of that. I'm even a little afraid to be on hardcore. It is risky. I won't bother changing it though. This boss is really not very hard. He does have a lot of HP on hard, but our decoy does a ridiculous amount, and it's going to be doing even more by the time we reach the boss, because we're going to level up a few times. So yeah, just kind of set up some protons, same old, same old. It is worth mentioning with these paths, these enemies kind of turn this corner tight. So for the first wave, it's better to have this hugging the wall a little bit. These enemies are pretty tight too. I should have had this hugging. Oh well. They're just going to be annoying. Come on. Are you kidding me? Are we gonna lose? Yeah. That's too bad. We'll just restart really quick. So yeah, I guess you want to have these be fairly tight as well. Right here. Good to know. Just make that nice and long. Okay. Oh, you know what? What was I doing? I could have just killed these guys with a decoy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wish I didn't realize. I'm so embarrassed. We'll just pretend that didn't happen, yeah? Oh my gosh, I was just like standing there knocking them back. Not even realizing. Absolutely clueless. Oh well. Happens to the best of us. Alright, I'll double stack back here. We'll just G up. I kind of want to get this moving along. This map is very easy, so... Except for the boss, of course. Really nothing crazy going on here. You can always put some auras down here with your monk if you want. Like, you could put some healing auras in case you get hit and live, which I don't know how likely that is. You can always put some strength drains, so if he does attack you while he's inside of it, you might live. But I don't know if I'm going to bother doing any of that. One thing I do want to... I'm just going to do a little experiment here. I want to see if he goes after the physical beam. Because physical beams... Physical defenses in general have a lot of aggro on them. Like, enemies are attracted to them. Same with the decoy. The decoy, I don't know if that's changed in Redux. It might be like that in live, or in the vanilla game. But that generates a ton of aggro. Like, if an enemy sees that decoy, it's going for it. Just, I don't know if bosses ignore that or not. You can upgrade your proton beams. They're gonna need enough HP to survive the boss. So if you take a while, having the extra HP from the upgrade is gonna help. As long as they're fully repaired before, it shouldn't matter too much, though. But while I'm just sitting here, might as well. We can look at some gear, too. Like, this is nice. Look at that, 5 casts rate. That'll help a ton. We're zooming now. Insane upgrade speed. Okay, cool. No, don't shoot me! I got greedy. I could have canceled. No. Just a little XP lost. We can always just throw down a decoy and speed this up a little bit. I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but maybe a little bit. Alrighty, final wave. Wow, look at this. That's nice. Let's go with that. That'll help us do more decoy damage. Okay, and we reached level 20. So, level 20 is where you want to go on your other characters and apply some levels. So this guy's not quite at level 20. So it doesn't really matter. That probably means our Jester isn't there either. Almost. But yeah, you want to get those to level 20 as soon as possible. Also, you want to make sure you don't over-level them on the level it reaches level 20. Like, you don't want it to go from 18 to 21, for example. You really don't want that. You want to go from 18 to 20, because once you hit level 20, you unlock Mana Bomb. And then you want to be putting all your points into Mana Bomb. Whereas, if you go from like 18 to 21, I don't think it lets you put those extra points from the 21st level into Mana Bomb, just because it wasn't unlocked. So once you start getting around level 20, try to be careful of that, just so you can save their respec. Because respecs cost 100,000 mana. We'll kind of upgrade some stuff here. We have really good defense HP right now, I'm pretty sure. What is it? 17, yeah. Our defense HP is great. So I'm not worried about these dying. I'm more worried about myself dying. Oh, it's level 34 anyway. I don't think it's worth regardless. Anything with ability 1 would be huge. That's only 1 though, so I'm not gonna bother. Yeah, anything to speed this boss fight up is great. The longer the boss is alive, the worse off you are. Do some final repairs, just to be safe. Yeah, I'm really curious if he's gonna go after the physical beam or not. That would be nice if he did. You can also put reflects down, just... I don't know. I'd rather have the visibility than have the fireballs be blocked. Also, you can take down the pylons, just on hard, they have quite a bit of HP, so unless you've like upgraded your weapon or something, you're probably not going to be able to kill it. Redux makes it so you can control N to skip this, but I'm not going to. I want to get my decoy cooldown a little bit here. Okay. There you go. He instantly killed the physical beam because I put it in a bad spot. Whoopsie. Ooh. Yeah, do not let these fireballs hit you. I think they'll kill you. Not sure about that, though. And definitely don't walk in the fire. If you really want, you can try to bait him into your proton beams, but it's not going to help that much. It's not going to make or break this fight. And there you go. The nice thing about this is you do get some accessories that you can equip. You can't quite equip these demonic heirlooms right when you get them, but these accessories you can, and these can give you some decent stats. Like, look at this. This is awesome. 9 cast speed. We lose 2 defense attack, but that's fine. I might go with this instead. I don't know. We'll go with this one. That one's good. And yeah, we'll just keep all this. Might as well. I think some of these guys should be hitting level 20. Yeah, here's level 20. So now we have Mana Bomb unlocked. So now we can put our levels into Mana Bomb for free without respecking. Unfortunately, Kefka... Oh no, look at that. Okay, no, I was wrong. You can just do it straight out. Okay, never mind. Talking out of my ass over here. So it doesn't matter. We can look at some of this gear here. How much ability 1 did that have? 1? Yeah, it's not worth. Ooh, look at that. This is amazing. 11 ability 1, 10 defense attack. Amazing. Actually amazing. This is nice too. And we're going to be able to equip that soon. Okay. Cool. Next level. So at this point, your person's at level 20. You've got some stats. We've got like 62 in holographic decoy. You can move on to the next thing, I believe. I think you're strong enough at this point to move on to the next thing, which is actually Sky City Nightmare Hardcore First Wave. If you were really trying to rush this, I'm pretty sure you could do that right now. But we're going to play it a little bit safe and level up a bit more, go for some extra stats, that kind of thing. We're going to do some extra steps, which includes 3 other maps, I believe. Yeah, we're going to have to do Servants' Quarters, Castle Armory, and once we beat Castle Armory, you'll have access to Ogre Crush. The only reason we're playing through the campaign all the way like this is to unlock Ogre Crush. If you already have Ogre Crush, you can just skip pretty much all of this. You can... What I would do if you already have Ogre Crush, here's what I would do. I would do Deeper Well hardcore, then do Deeper Well Insane hardcore to level up a little bit. You could do that a few times if you want, and then just go straight to Ogre Crush, Nightmare Hardcore. You can do Ogre Crush Nightmare Hardcore as soon as your Jester is level 20. So yeah, that's really why we're doing this, because right now would be the perfect time to go to Ogre Crush, because our Jester is level 20. But I'm just going to assume you don't have it unlocked even. Because you do need to beat Castle Armory to unlock Ogre Crush. Like, this is all really overkill for this map. Like, look, we have 61 beam damage. That is just insanity. These enemies are just going to get demolished. This map is really simple. There's no ogres, no wyverns, again, just like the last map. Really tight corridors, so nothing's going to cause you too much trouble. With this corridor, I do believe you want to have it hug this inner corner. Right there. Ooh, I went way too ham over here. We need some of this. Okay. That should be okay. Alright. Cool. Yeah, we got really lucky with our gear. That's kind of one of the nice parts about looking at a lot of the stuff, is you're gonna find the good stuff. So if you're willing to take the time, it'll make things easier on you. Oh, come on. Yeah, sometimes there's like little jams here. I think those guys are just not moving because I'm there. There you go. We'll put some over here just to speed this up a little more. I really do want this to go as quick as possible. So we'll go ham. One thing to mention is this proton beam right here, there's a ton of enemies down here that all get killed by this one. So if your HP is kind of bad, like this 14 HP is decent, if I'm honest. We're talking like 0, then you're going to want to upgrade that and pay close attention to it. Otherwise, you might get into some trouble. You can also put down buff beams if you like. Like, I could put down a buff beam here. But you don't really need to. No way, an achievement. This is a fresh account, so... we don't have many achievements. I don't even... Fresh nobility, what even is that? Oh, true nobility. Earned the Lord Award on at least medium difficulty. Nice. I'm proud of myself for that one. Yeah, not a whole lot to say about this one. This map is just very easy. Don't hit me. Don't hit me. I thought I saw something green over here. Here it is. No way. Oh well. If you want the extra mana, you can open the chests. Or even if you want good stuff. Because the chests typically have better stuff than the enemies. But it's not going to make too much difference. Why is there a traffic jam down here? Sometimes they get jammed up down here. Kind of jump down there, run out a decoy. That should fix it right up. Alrighty, final wave. Yeah, it's a good thing we put those defenses more towards the doors. Just to speed things up. There's another little traffic jam down here. Alrighty, cool. How much mana do we have, by the way? 300k already. That is a good amount. Okay. So, this is the last map. You would need to do if you were on like a completely fresh account. And you didn't want to play risky with Sky City. This map is a little bit awkward, I'll admit, especially on the first wave. But it's not too bad. Kind of want to do the normal old thing. Put down these proton beams. Let's put this one up here, actually. Come on. I'm not sure how tight these guys hug, but we'll just assume pretty tight. And I'm gonna be down here. Because I don't know... I don't really know these guys' walking patterns, actually. Or walking paths. I just kind of assumed they would hug the sides a little bit. Even just crossing a like this the short way, they still die. That's how OP proton beams are. Early game. Late game they still suck, don't worry. It would take a lot more for them to be good late game. They would need to be buffed to the moon. Okay. Let's keep going. Yeah, I think we're gonna do a little bit of the same here. Just putting some closer to the doors just to speed this up. Come on. No! That mage almost got a fireball on me, bro. Not cool. Man. This needs to be tight. Oh, don't shoot me. I don't want to lose this experience. Yeah, I'll put this one real tight. Man wants to shoot me. No. Don't do it. Oh yeah, and here's the Dark Elf Warriors. They're not too problematic, as you can see. They're not going to cause you too many problems. They're not the brightest. What is this guy doing? Hello? What? Why couldn't I detonate? That was so weird. That's okay. We lose defense HP, though. Defense HP is going to be really important later on. And you'll see why. On Sky City, you really want decent beam health. I'm gonna wait to apply this level, because we might not need it. You get to the point where you have enough decoy damage, and you don't really need more, for Sky City at least. So it can be worth just putting the points into defense HP. Like, how much damage are we doing right now? Oh, I didn't see. We can test the dummy at the tavern. And the thing is, once you can do Sky City, you're gonna have plenty of mana to respec. It's gonna be no problem. Even right now, we have plenty for a few respecs if we want. Stop. Yeah, look at that, 278k. And that wasn't even point blank. The damage does fall off with distance. Alright, beautiful. I'm gonna take a second to look at this gear. It's because getting what you need from... That's kind of nice. I'll take that. Getting what you need from Ogre Crush can be a little bit difficult. Okay. Like, Ogre Crush is not the end-all be-all to make it so you can do Sky City. It can help push you over the edge if you... We're not doing Half Court. Screw that. If you don't have enough damage, or stats or whatever, if you're struggling with Sky City, you can just spam that and maybe get some epic gear that'll help you out. Just, most of the stuff, 433k, like, that's plenty. Most of the stuff you're going to be getting from Ogre Crush Nightmare Hardcore is going to be, like, Legendary Ungodly, which you can't use at this point. You'd have to level for it, which the leveling you want to do is on Sky City. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go all beam HP, actually. We have enough decoy damage for now. We're doing okay. So, if you want to do Ogre Crush before you do Sky City, here's what you do. Let's get rid of all of our splits and pull out our Jester. The Jester is how you do it. Let's go down to Ogre Crush. Nightmare Hardcore. I can't remember if you can do Ascension. I don't think you can because I think there's 2 enemies on the first wave. Not that you would even want to. Whoops. You wouldn't want to do Ascension because you wouldn't be able to equip anything. At least on Nightmare Hardcore, you get some epic gear. Okay, so we do this. Start. Roll core. Sword. Wait, what? Oh, it's sword, core. That's embarrassing. There you go. I don't really play Jester in Redux. He's not good. Okay, now you hop on your summoner that you hopefully made. Even if you didn't make a summoner, just make one really quick and get on it. Because you want to open these chests on your summoner. Like, look at that epic. This is great. Except it doesn't have ability. But it has everything else you want. It has the tower HP, which is really nice. Amazing, that's good. Anything that's not legendary or godly, like amazing, epic. I don't know if you can get shining from here, but maybe. That would be great too. You're not going to be able to win the second wave unless you build some physicals and stuff. You could build physical beams and win the second wave just by you rolling 2 wheels. But generally, I just spam the first wave. Okay. Also, at this point, you should be able to equip your TF2 pets, which I have put in here. These can help a little bit. Or you can use the portal again if you want. You would want to use the engineer. Just the problem with the engineer, I will say, is he uses your mana to repair defenses around you, so that can screw you over a little bit just because you need the mana. But it's not too bad. Like, I will throw this on, just because it gives you quite a bit of defense HP, which is really nice. Okay, so now, this can take a few tries. If you do it off of hardcore, it's going to be a lot easier. Just the mythical you get is going to be, like, crap. I'm going to turn off the billboards here, just so I can see. So yeah, if you can, and you're okay with taking some deaths, because doing this first try is a little finicky. It's very easy to die. Then it is great to do it on hardcore. You can do it on Ruthless as well if you go ham on holographic decoy instead of your beam charges. But generally, I would just stick with hardcore to start with. So what you want to do is just spam physical beams here. Just make a ton of physical beams. The more the better. If you're willing to put in the time, you could use all of your DU, or rather all of your mana on physical beams. Just throw them down. Because the way the aggro works on this map is really goofy. Enemies basically target defenses. They prioritize targeting defenses over the core. So you can just spam defenses in the center and they'll all go to them. They'll just flock to them. Another thing you can do, which I might do if we lose here, I will do this, is if you leveled up a monk, you can put down ensnare auras and strength drain auras, just like all over your physical beam stack. And that does help quite a bit. It makes them survive a lot longer. But if you have a lot of defense, or if you have a lot of beam HP, you shouldn't really need to. Hopefully. We'll see. I actually don't know if this is going to work or not. Let's just grab the rest of this mana, and then go. Alrighty. So let's do it. So first, I like to just put a decoy right there. It's not going to last long, but it'll kill some of those enemies, and it'll let you start cooling down for your next use. Sorry, I'm like trying to get on this lamppost here. Next, I just put a decoy right there, usually. And then I don't die. You're gonna die pretty much no matter what sometimes. You kind of have to get lucky. Or play very safe. But we'll give this another go. Patience is definitely key here. Don't get frustrated if you die a lot. Because once you get it, it'll be really good. And yeah, like I said, if you want, you can keep grinding Ogre Crush to get more stats. You can build more stuff if you put stats on your other builders. You can definitely put down those auras to make it easier. Which, maybe I should have done that this time. That might have been smart. It's okay. Also, another thing you can do is, I did level up my apprentice. You can try using Apprentice instead of Decoy. You don't have to use Decoy here, actually. I do prefer it, but... Whoa. Purity Bomb works great. Mana Bomb works great. Those have a lot bigger range, so you're going to kill a lot more enemies per use. It's just those have longer cooldowns. Purity Bomb is probably the... It's probably the best for this, if I'm honest, is Purity Bomb. Because Purity Bomb has fairly short cooldown with bigger range, and it does a decent amount of damage. I like doing this with Decoy because, well, you know. And if you do the Purity Bomb strat, that does work on ranked, or, sorry, not ranked, the vanilla game. It's just, you're not going to have the buffed, you're not going to have the buffed, whatever it's called, got it. The Proton Beam. You're not going to have the buff Proton Beam, so getting there is going to be a little bit more difficult. Or take a little bit longer, eventually, but it does still work. Okay, let's... Damn. Whoopsie. I walked right into an orc hit. Alright, we'll put down ores this time. Let me just go level up my monk. Yeah, Purity Bomb works great here. That's definitely the way to go if you want to cheese on vanilla. Okay. I could even pull in my monk, or sorry, not my monk, my apprentice here, and... Oh, whoops. It did not mean to hold control. Let's get respec. You can pull in... I could pull in my apprentice and use some mana bombs here, which maybe I'll do, I don't know. Let's respec. I did not mean to do that. Okay. That should help a little bit. And we can put on our pyro, just to make these a little bit stronger. We don't care about defense rate. Like, yeah, we can look in here and maybe put on an accessory. What's our cast speed? 8? Great. Okay. Maybe we can win this time. I'm definitely not the greatest at this strat. That's for sure. It's extremely finicky to not die. But the experience you get from this is great. The experience and the gear. So if you use auras, what you want to do is just use ensnares and strength drains. I don't know if enrage auras really help that much here. Maybe they do. But I'm just going to stick with the tried and true. And maybe this will help me survive a little bit better. Yeah, unfortunately I opted to go for an apprentice instead of an adept. Apprentice, the mana bomb cooldown is super long, so it's hard to keep your stuff alive long enough to get 2 uses. Definitely not the best for it. That's why Purity Bomb is nice. And that's why Decoy is super nice too, if you can pull it off. Because Decoy cooldown is super short, and it draws aggro, so the shorter range, or rather smaller range, doesn't affect it as much as you would think, because enemies are completely drawn to it. Also, another thing worth mentioning, if you have a flying skin, or costume, it makes this a lot easier. Because you can just fly over the enemies and drop decoys on them from a safe distance. which does help quite a bit. So if you were carried on like Lab Assault or whatever back in the day in a pub, then it would be worth throwing that on just to fly over these guys and drop bombs on them. Okay, that should do it. Let's just put down some buff beams. The buff beams do help quite a bit. Okay. Gives us just enough mana to use one decoy. Let's put it in the aura. Just so it lasts a little bit longer. Attracts more guys. Yeah, you can stand at a safe distance here. You don't need to get super close. Just, you're not going to get as many kills if you stand at a safe distance. And this engineer is eating all my mana like I was talking about. Did we talk to this cat already? I actually need mana. Let's talk to this cat. Yeah, the engineer kind of screwed me over there. Hopefully all of our stuff doesn't die. Oh no. Alright. A big group over here. What I want to do is get behind the archers. Do that. There you go. Yeah, the ores made this a lot easier. That's why I upgraded, or that's why I left the monk in the whole time for leveling, just in case I needed it for this. Because you never know. Oh god. Not like this. I don't want to die when everything's already dead. Okay, cool. One more, and then that should be good. Heal up my defenses, engineer. Come on. Yes, sir. Heal him up. Alrighty, cool. Finally did it. Alright, so now you want to do the same thing as on Ogre Crush. Switch to your summoner and open all the chests. And you should get some mythical gear from... Like, if armor drops from these chests, it should always be mythical. It's not going to be the greatest mythical, but it should be pretty decent. Like, that piece was good. That piece was really good. And if you want to get all your characters kitted out early on to make getting into Nightmare easier, this is where you would want to do it. This or Tinker's Lab. Or Ember Mount, I hear is good. But this strat is really good to do from zero. I don't know if the cats give anything decent, but you can always talk to them too. But yeah, if you want to gear up all your guys from this map, you're going to need to do this a lot of times. If you don't move on to like Tinker's Lab or Ember Mount first wave. But another nice part about this is you get a good amount of experience. Not an insane amount, but it's not bad either. You can hit level 70 like this if you want. Hitting 74 from this map would take a while, but you can do it. It would take I don't know how many attempts. I can't remember how much experience you need for level 74, if I'm honest. Probably like 10 or something, which isn't even that bad. Okay. Like, how many levels did we get from this? We're up to level 44. So we could put on some HP. We could put on. I think we're just gonna put it on beam, or sorry, ability 1. And really, what you would want to do is just do this a few more times. Get to level 60 maybe, and then you can put on some godly gear that you get from Ogre Crush, which would help you get into Nightmare and be very useful. So that's step 1 if you want to really cheese this progression. Is get EV, Apprentice, or Adept, preferably EV or Adept, to level 20. And then do Sky City. Or if you want to play a little more slowly, you can play until you unlock Ogre Crush, or hit like level 30 to get some more stats. And then farm Ogre Crush for like shining, amazing, epic gear. And then do Sky City, just to make it a bit easier on yourself. And then use Sky City to, like, level up. You can go to level 74 with it. And then if you go to level 74 on Sky City, you should have enough mythical gear to make some full sets. And break into Nightmare. I might make a part 2 on the process after you've leveled up to level 74 and farmed some mythical gear from Sky City, on what to do next, because there is more to the kind of cheese. It's less cheesy after this point, but still a little bit cheesy. So who knows? Maybe I'll make a part 2. We'll see. Let me know. I will be leaving it there. Good luck with the progression.